county jail. The prison band was there, they began to wail. The band was jumping and the joint began to swing. You should have heard this knocked out jailbird sing. Let it rock, everybody let it rock. Everybody in old cell block was dancing to the jailhouse rock. Spider Murphy played his tenor saxophone. Little Joe was blowing on the slide trombone. The drummer boy from Illinois would crash, boom, bang. The whole rhythm section was a purple gang. Let's rock, everybody, let's rock. Everybody in old cell block was dancing to the jailhouse rock. Number 47 said to number 3, "You're the cutest jailbird I ever did see. I sure would be delighted with your company. Come on and do the jailhouse rock with me. Let's rock, everybody, let's rock. Everybody in old cell block was dancing to the jailhouse rock, 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 rock." Sad sack was sitting on a block of stone, way over in the corner weeping all alone. The warden said, "Hey buddy, don't
like to laugh at you, cause they are all the same. See, I would rather we just go a different way than play the game. And no matter the weather, we can do it better. You and me together forever and ever. We don't have to worry about a thing, about a thing, no. We can hit a run, run, run. We can hit a run, run, run. Just like fire, burning up the way, rocking like the world up for just one day. Watch this madness, colorful charade. No one can be just like me anywhere. Just like magic, I'll be flying free. I'ma disappear when they come for me. I kick that ceiling, what you gonna say? No one can be just like me anywhere. Just like fire,
Well, you can tell by the way I use my walk, I'm a woman's man, no time to talk. Music loud, women more, being kicked around since I was born. Never tolerate, that's okay, and you may look the other way, but we can try to understand and do your time to make the man. Whether you're a brother or whether you're a mother, you're staying alive, staying alive. Feel the city breaking and everybody shaking, and we're staying alive, staying alive. Staying alive, staying alive. Staying alive. Running around, get low when I get high, and if I can't get in, I'll really try. After we go barefoot, no more shoes, I'm a dancing man, I just can't lose. You know it's alright, it's okay, I live to see another day. But we can try to understand and do your time to make the man. Whether you're a brother or whether you're a mother, you're staying alive, staying alive. Feel the city break.